and Rachel's going to guide us through the conversation. So she'll just ask you some questions and we'll all jump in. But we just want to get to hear from you and be able to share in your own words, in your own voice, the story of Agni Raksha and what you all have built and who you are and how others can come alongside and support the mission and the life you're leading. So, Rachel, I'll let you take it over from here.
Okay. Chitra and Vanilla, we're so happy you guys are here. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to join us. You're such dear partners and friends. You know, we have so much history together, so it's exciting to get to share a little bit of this with our partners as well. But I wondered if you could just start of telling who you guys are, who Agni Raksha is as an organization, and why you exist. Like what is the need that you're meeting?
Okay, I'll make it very short. See, our organization is about 25 years now, and Agni means fire, and Raksha means it's prevention and protection. The reason why we started is because my older sister is a burn survivor herself, and she met with an accident when she was 8 years old. And this is about 60 years ago. And when she was admitted in a hospital here, that's the only hospital that is there even now after 70 years. She's 75 now, and that's the only government hospital that caters to the burn survivors. So, this is the hospital that she went to when she was 8 years. And due to, the medical facilities was not that great. So against medical advice, she was taken to Christian Medical College, Velo, which is one of the biggest hospitals. And I think it's worldwide recognized. I am not sure whether you guys have heard about it, but it's one of the biggest hospitals. And she was there as a patient for several years. She has had about 28 surgeries. She was burnt from her face to the chest. And I'm the youngest of the lot, and I have another two siblings in between. So as a family, we have gone through, we are not a very, we are a middle class family, and we're not doing that. I mean, my parents had to really work hard to look after all the four of us. And, my sister was taken there, and burns is something which needs a lot of, it's the treatment is not very simple and it cannot be done at one stretch. So it had to go for several years. So she's had about 28 reconstructive surgeries. And while she went the first time to the OT, that is operation theater, it was a failure because her chin was attached to her chest and they could not incubate her. So she went 3 times to the OT, and the third time, they took about 18 hours to do the surgery. And now the same surgery can be done in 2 hours, whereas they took about 18 hours those, 60 years ago. And while she was going there, my mother is a person who is so faithful and such a God-fearing person that she prayed in the chapel at the Christian Medical College, Velo, saying that if my daughter's surgery is a success, she would make her a doctor in the same hospital. So when, while she was praying there, the doctors came out and said that her surgery is a success. And the first thing my mother came and told my sister, I call her Premaka. Akka is sister, older sister. So for me, it's hard to say Dr. Prema because I'm so used to calling her Premaka. So, when my mother saw her, my mother's first thing she said is, Prema, now that you have come out of it, you need to become a doctor. So my sister she was thinking, what is she talking? Because it made no sense to her at that age. But then, the things from then on, it's never been looking back. God has been with us all through. Maybe, while she was there, we three of our siblings have gone through a lot because we were never with our parents. and we had to be living with somebody else. So we already know what it is to walk through this. I mean, I am telling you in a very short, and not really telling you all the episodes and the explanations that we have gone through, but it's not been easy for any of us. And I was only about a year that time
Wow.
when, so I never have had my mother with me. So, I really feel what it is not to have a mother because, I know what it is. So, this has been the story of Agni Raksha. And my mother always said that you guys, my sister, went through she did her schooling at home because she was not allowed to go to school because, all the children would make fun of her. There was so much of discrimination and stigma. And every time she went to school, the children would laugh at her. And, so she refused to go to school. So most of her schooling was homeschooling. But after that, my mother was such a great motivator that she did her education. Then she went to do her medicine in Hubli. And once she came back to CMC. And the director of CMC then was the doctor who had operated her.
Wow.
And he was so thrilled seeing her come as, his patient, coming and asking him for, she said, I want to work here. So, he said, see, I cannot help you. You'll have to prove me because, I have to see how you work. So she did work day and night as a house surgeon, and then she did her MS in Christian Medical College. And she headed the department. She retired as a professor because my mother always used to tell us, see, we are waiting here for a long time to see the doctor. Why don't I want you to sit there one day so that you make sure that people don't wait for so long. So it so happened my mother passed away in 1995, and in 1996 she sat in the same chair where her doctor sat, and she became the head of the department. So, we only feel bad that my mom is not there because she really struggled along with her. So that's the existence of Agni Raksha. And my mother always used to say, I want you all to start something to go because we have gone through so much. So that's how Agni Raksha came into existence. And that from there on, it's never been looking back. It's just been, that's how. And I think it's one of the best organizations that because we feel with each of the patients because we have gone through and there is that personal touch with each of them. So I think we are very different from, and we are very practical, and I think we touch each one's need. That's more important than anything because we feel that everybody has their own struggles and everybody cannot talk about these struggles. Some can share, some things we cannot. But then I think we are very good listeners and we really give them a personal touch. I mean, I'm not bragging about myself, but I think that's the way we are. And I'm sure Vanilla can also vouch for it.
Yes, yes.
So that's about it.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. I love just the family connection. I mean, not just even connection, just the fact that your family just really deeply experienced it. And like you said, kind of from all the perspectives. Obviously, your sister went through it personally, but then each of you as siblings were impacted greatly, and it probably gives you just this invaluable perspective into the way you run things now.
Petra, I don't know if I've ever actually asked you, for you personally, when was it that you felt like you wanted to be part of Agni Raksha or work together with your sister in that way? Because your experience of her suffering and her injury and the impact would have been like so particular, such a different kind of journey for you. So can you just say when was it that you knew or felt that you were going to be part of that the story
See,
of
I
Agni?
think we all were raised that way because my mother always raised us with a lot of care and a lot of love. And, she always used to tell us one thing: no matter what it is, if you all are together, you can achieve great things. This is one thing which has always been too deep into me. And I'm and always she used to tell us, you all could be married, you all could have your own family, but no matter what it is, whether I'm there or not there, I think you all have to be with Prema, because she always used to tell us, see, she doesn't have things the way you all have. And so I think all this is too deep into all of us. So, and it's also, she used to always say, even if she's wrong, you guys should not hurt her. It's just that you have to be with her, beside her. So I think, that's the way we were raised. And I always think, um, maybe, there's a lot of things because my mother has been very strong pillar. She has always told us, it's good to be humble, good to be affectionate, good to be together. I think that's when it's always embedded in me. So I think, that's the way it's going on. Until today, I don't think I have even regretted being here and doing things because it gives me a kind of happiness when I see that somebody is helped at the end of the day. All that you need is, you need to be peaceful. You need to be happy that you've done something.
Mhm.
So I think I have that with me. And I think I'm a person who doesn't, I don't want, any name, fame, nothing. It's just that I want my peace. I want to do things for others. So that's the way we all have been raised.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
I
I take the
can
credit.
definitely vouch for that. That is always who I've known you to be. I think we've described you that way, like not ever seeming to seek the name or the fame, but it's something that you believe in. But I love the way you put it, that you have your peace. And what you said, if you are together, you can achieve great things. I feel like I'm trying to communicate that to my own children when they're fighting amongst each other all the time. I gave you to
You
each
know,
other for a reason.
the more we fight, the more we are together.
Mhm.
Well, I'm going to remember that. They will appreciate that you said that to me. So we were just having a long lecture about it on the way to school this morning. So it's very, very timely, good reminder for me. But seriously, thank you. That was a really meaningful answer. And it is certainly who we've known you to be in the many years that we've had the chance to watch the life you're living. So
Sure.
Thank you.
Chitra, can you tell us a little bit about what the need is in India specifically for like how do burns happen? Do you know any of the like numbers or statistics? It's okay if you don't, but just can you kind of paint that picture for us just as a culture and a
See,
society?
one thing I can tell you that till today, there is no record of any burns that happens here. Because in India, there are several reasons. One is domestic violence, and one is a lot of them, have suicidal, then very few accidental. But we have realized over the years that people who have accidental burns are much stronger in their mind and they recover quickly. But people who have domestic violence take a long time because the trauma is there in them. And also, if they have kids, that's another greater trauma because the kids go through a different kind of, trauma at home, and children get to run away and they are not together. And suicidal is something which actually makes a person feel so low, and it's really hard for them to get back their confidence, and and they go through a lot of stigma more than anything else, because people don't accept them in general. Burns itself, they don't, they because it's associated with crime, and also none of these goes reported. So if you ask us, we have reached out to about 30,000 people now in various, children, the men, but men, we don't get many. Normally, men are only accidental, but of late, we are also getting the teenage boys because, lack of getting a job or having problems at home. But women in general, they go through a lot. But another thing in women is, I think that forgiving is to such a great extent that only they are angry only for a few months or maybe a year till their wound is okay and they are fine. But again, they want to get back. They want to get back. They want to be the breadwinner of the house. They want to look after the children. They want to go back to their spouse. Though they know that there is so much of things, but still, I think women are different. And our culture, I think that's the way they have been raised. So I think, they've given, they sacrifice so much, though, at the end of the day, they go through so much of it, they still want to continue and want to be a strong pillar of the family.
Wow.
So I really don't get the number of people that are dying every day. We are not able to really have that statistics, but we know that there are plenty.
Yeah.
See, we feel when we are such a small organization, when we can really reach out to so many, and only in Bangalore, I'm sure there are many more.
Sure. Sure. Do you feel like because you've been in an organization for 25 years now at this point, is the need growing or decreasing, or do you feel like it's staying the same?
It is decreasing in the communities that we work. Because one thing is we have been in the community over several years, and also we have this awareness, prevention, then we have self-help groups, then we also have a lot of people talking about, how they have been healed and how they are again. And once they come here, I think people don't care a damn about what others say. Because I think they get so much of confidence, like, Vanilla is laughing here. Because I think that's what she wanted to talk to you all about. So I think, they learn to face. And, they learn to face whatever other people say, and it doesn't matter to them. So I think, can I get back to what question you asked me, Rachel? It's
Oh, that's
just
okay. I was
not,
just asking if the need over time has, if you feel like it's grown or not.
yes,
Everything you're saying is wonderful.
changed because see, people, there is, I mean, not many people want to die. Another new thing that we see is when women are, if the men are going to burn their wives during domestic violence, the women have learned to also hold on to the men because they don't want them to escape. So the men also get burnt in the bargain. Women are holding on to them, either their hands get burned because they want them also to know what they are going through. So we also get couples who come here, because of the violence. But then obviously, we have a legal cell counselor. So at the end, they get together because we don't want them to separate because we have seen over the years that they like to stay together. But what we see the need is that see, one thing it's very important that they need to have medical facilities for them to be mobile, for them to be, do their daily jobs. But at the same time, the need is they all want to stand on their own feet. They want to learn some skill. They want to be empowered. They want to earn. So income generation is something that they want to be self-sufficient. They don't want to depend on their husbands. And they want to, the mindset is changed that they want their children to study. They want their children to grow. They don't want them to go through what they have gone through. So definitely there's a lot of change. The present need is they're coming out. Like, we have a skill here now. We are training them to be auto drivers. We have several people who want to come and learn because they're saying we also are no less than the men. We also want to learn. So
Mhm.
that's the thought that's, it's set in.
Yeah, I love that. Can you tell us more about, and you've kind of touched on it, but your holistic approach, because you're doing so much more than just treating burns, and you've talked about like the emotional kind of validation of who people are and the confidence that you're giving people, which is such a core belief with us at Third Ladder. But also, can you just tell us all the different kind of your holistic approach, like the different things that you guys offer to people coming in?
See, one is we work with medical interventions. This is one is home-based care. Like I told you, there's only one hospital, so the hospital doesn't keep them till their wound is completely healed. So because they need beds, there's only about 50 beds. So what happens when they come, for them, they find it difficult to go back to the hospital because the hospital asks them to come only on alternate days, and commuting is a problem. So what we do, we take up the home-based care where the nursing team and the field mobilizers go, and we do the dressing. And while we are doing the dressing itself, the nurses and the field mobilizers already get to know them, and there's a close rapport between them, and they find out what is the requirement. So the from there, that we also come to know that the family needs, most of their spouse is addicted. So, we refer them to de-addiction. And if, as a family, they want to get together, then the school children will go back to the school, because during the mother going through the medical facility, the children will be dropped out from school. So we place the children back into school. And we also have another donor who supports the children. So we see that most of the children go back. If a child is not having interest, then we try to put them into other, maybe some skill that the child wants to learn. So we do that. Apart from that, we also do a lot of physiotherapy, because after reconstruction, they need physiotherapy. So there is a physiotherapy, team which takes care of that. Then while we were doing all this, we also found that their need is a legal advisor. So we have an advocate by name Mercy who comes here, who, sort of tries to solve whatever problems they have. And most of it is out of court. Like, in India, the law goes on till several years, and many of them will not even be alive sometimes. And the court will just keep pulling. So, here she sees that things are out of court, and she has actually helped about 400 people who have got many facilities. So, and we are now trying to tie up with the government schemes so that, the people also get the schemes. There is, if you have a BPL card that is below poverty line, they have several schemes which will help them for work, which will give them loan, which will give so many things. So we are trying to tap that as well. So apart from the medical facilities that we have, we found out, and while we keep talking, like I said, that's what many of the women want. They want to learn a skill. They want to be independent. They don't want to depend on their spouse for anything. So we started, like, tailoring was the main thing, which is again supported by you all. And Hope Based is also supported by you all. And a part of reconstruction is also supported by Third Ladder, for which we are very grateful and happy. And one thing before I miss out, I want to tell you, when I find that there is something not okay, or if nobody is supporting, the first thing is I think of Third Ladder. I think I have to tell you all, and I have to, because I know somewhere in my heart, in my mind, that you will be with me, you'll stand by me. So thank you. Thanks, Rachel, Naomi, Jennifer, and all of you. It's I'm telling from the bottom of my heart, and this is the truth. And anyway, now let me come back to the program. So we started tailoring, and now we also started baking. So, we have not only a training center, we also have a small bakery. And before I forget, I must tell you, I got a corporate order last week. We made about 2 lakhs of money in that, and we sold about 1,500 different cookies and different things. Probably I can share.
That's amazing.
We started bakery training. Then we are also into jute bags because many of them, like last year, we supported about 100 women in different income generation. Like, some wanted sewing machine, some wanted, grinder, so they could grind and sell the batter, idli dosa batter, and push carts. So, like that, whoever wanted, we gave them. So, those people came back. Some of them said that they would like to learn the jute bags because here, the bags are in great demand. So, we teaching jute bags. Then uh, now we are training about 30 people in auto driving, and we are going to provide 15 of them with auto.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's amazing. That's
yes,
incredible.
and all of them have got, I think about 15 of them have got their license. So they will be on road very soon. And we are also teaching them the masala making, pickle making, then papad making. And beautician is another thing. They all are very good pedicure and manicure specialists. Their touch is so good. So probably I can, we just had another corporate which called all of them last week on the 10th for, these girls went and did the massages to them. So that's another thing. And they learned how to approach, clients and how to talk to them. So that's again, people have learned, the girls have learned, how to talk and how to get confidence. They all went uh, to a different corporate, and we provided small kits, so they took everything and each one sat there. Probably I could share the pictures with you all sometime. That was vanilla.
Well, I want to just jump in because I don't know if you remember Chitra, but last time I was there with you, which it's been
Yes,
longer
you
than I wish it
had
had been, but you insisted that I was with my daughter and you insisted that we have a pedicure, I think, and a manicure while we were in the office. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, I didn't come to be pampered, but I can vouch for those manicures and pedicures that it was the best one I've had. So I love the training that you're doing there, and when you talk about the confidence that it gives, just the image of these women now with licenses and the autos, that's just an incredible picture of what that actually provides, the independence, just the ability to take care of themselves in that particular way, but the opportunities that it opens for them. So this is so exciting to hear about. And Vanila, I wondered if you could speak to that a little bit. I know Chitra mentioned a little while ago that you might be willing to share from your perspective what I guess well, I don't want to I want it to be your words rather than put those in your mouth, but the experience of being at Agni Raksha and what it offered to you, the dignity, the self-respect, and how you carried that out into the world with you. Would you feel comfortable telling us a little bit about that?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Actually, as a person, personally, I can share. In many ways, I can say that I have learned many things. I've changed myself. Like before and all, before coming Agni Raksha, and initially I was coming to Agni Raksha. Initially, I was like a very negative thinker. And after that, I spoke with Madam, Chitra ma'am, and I spoke with Prema madam, and I saw their work, how they are working here to the burn survivors. So I've learned I should think positive. So now I become a very positive thinker. I can say very strongly that, and I have got confident after coming Agni Raksha, and got very courageous person. I can say that, and also personally I can say very um,
சொல்லு சொல்லு you tell
uh,
என்ன சொல்லு
very competitive. Mm.
she has become competitive as well.
Competitive?
Yes.
Good
I
for
never
her.
give up any work. I took as a challenge. I finished that work. I'm sorry that I'm not very fluent in English.
No, you are.
So
You're doing an excellent job.
I learned to communicate with the different age groups, and I motivated them to come Agni Raksha to avail the services that we provide here, like medical interventions, skill training, and educational support, etc., etc. So yeah, every day I'm getting motivated by Madam, by Chitra Madam, and by Prema Madam. That thing I usually I share with the community. So because as a burn survivor, I can able to understand their feelings. So whatever I'm getting from Madam, the words, the positive words, and the motivational words, I will share to the community, yeah, to the beneficiaries, so they get motivated and always they will appreciate me. So I feel very proud and I feel very happy and I feel very blessed to work in Agni Raksha and under Chitra ma'am and Prema madam. They are my role model actually. I can say very strongly that. So
Yeah, they are extraordinary role models, or are role models too.
Mhm. Thank you for sharing that, Vanilla. It's so good. Do you have anything else that you want to share, Vanilla, about your experience, either specifically with Agni Raksha or just things that you wish we would understand about the work that you guys do?
She says, do you want to share anything about your experience working in church?
um,
Oh, maybe a different question is, what is your role with Agni Raksha? What is your specific role that you do?
Actually, I'm working as a field mobilizer and I'll do counseling and I'll do a field coordinator also. I'll do multitask. I'll do multitask. I,
She's a multitasker.
Yeah, we understand that. That's incredible to hear. Thank you for being on this call, Vanilla. It means it gives such a personal touch to this call to be able to have you here and to hear your personal experience as well. Can either of
I
you?
would like to one thing about her.
Mm.
See, she's been with me for about 19 years now,
Wow.
and I can see the change in her every day.
Mhm.
And I also know that the community, see, we have several field mobilizers, but then when they go to motivate, many of them won't come. But the same thing, if she goes, people have started trusting her in the community. People look up to her in the community. So, there are several people, when they fail, she's able to bring them. So I think that's a real positive note. And also, she's a very positive person now. And, and today she was just telling me one thing, I used to be so sensitive before, but now I have realized that everybody has their own struggles. And, but I have overcome that. I don't want to, sort of be sensitive to what people say, because ultimately it's my own
I don't
self,
bother.
and I don't bother what they say, because when I know I am right, I don't have to bother about anybody. So, she's come down to that. And she says, at the end of the day, I'm happy. That's what matters to me.
Mm. Your confidence.
So that's,
We can
yes.
see it in you. Yeah, that's incredible. Can you tell us what did you see when you said field mobilizer? Just for those that are on the call or would be listening to it later, can you explain what a field mobilizer is? Like, what does that look like, that role?
You want me to explain or you want Vanilla to explain?
Whoever would like to take it.
Me? Okay. See, a field mobilizer is a person who gets into the community and who talks to each of them. Probably, if it's going tapping door to door, finding out if there is a survivor, and also, trying to mobilize. Like if you meet a person, there are sometimes people will openly talk, but there are sometimes people just shut their door on them. So, we have had such episodes as well. So this mobilizers work is just to go and mobilize in the community for various activities that we do, be it a survey, because we have a plan every month. We have planned, maybe if it's a Wednesday, then they go for a survey. If it's an OPD, then, they go identify new people. Then they also tap our old people. They also tap the follow-up. So every day is planned. And if it's and on an OPD, that's our first meeting with the people. So that is the day, they sort of send them. If they need legal support, then they go to the legal cell. If they need physiotherapy, they go to the physiotherapist. If they need home dressing, and if it's a, acute care, then, they go to the nurse. So that's the day we decide what they want. And there are sometimes people will need multiple things. So that's when, the field mobilizers will know about each of them. And then we decide where they need support from us. So that's there. Actually, the whole organization actually stands on them because they're the contact for all of them.
Yeah.
For our beneficiaries, the field mobilizers are the contact. And the field mobilizer should be good in communication, good in grasping things, good to make a judgment. Because normally, when you see a person, you talk only after making a judgment and when how they are, what they are. It's that immediate, uh, what do you say? They have to keep changing their strategy. So that way, vanilla is very good. When you know that somebody is aggressive, they'll mellow down. They can't be aggressive. So, all that strategy is there in a field mobilizer. So that's the job of a field mobilizer, and it's a very difficult job, not an easy job.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Mm.
And a job that is very respectful if you really, because the whole community starts liking you and loving you if you go there often.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
going back to those same communities. I would love to open it up. I know it's not a huge number on the call, but I would love to open it up to see if anyone else has any questions that you'd like to ask Chitra and Vanilla while we have them. And no
And
pressure.
Chitra, we've got, I think Craig Hawkins is on the call. Craig, are you there? Can you hear? Craig, who painted the beautiful portraits.
Painted the pictures. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember him. Hi, how are you doing?
Craig is one of our partners who has been just so personally supportive of Agni Raksha and did some incredible portraits of both Dr. Prema and Chitra, but of some of the women. And then actually, I've got one that my team gave me as a present one year that is actually in the surgery room itself of Dr. Prema doing a surgery.
Oh, okay.
So he has long loved you all and the work that you do, and championed the mission from here. So it's nice to see your face joining us this morning too, Craig. Thank you.
I was excited to see familiar faces when I logged on, and I recognized Chitra and Vanilla immediately.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
And I'm sure he, and in a way, even different from us, because as an artist and drawing what you all have done, I think he has an awareness of, I don't even know how to describe. Craig, you would probably do a better job describing, but the way that you have studied the mission and the work and the people of Agni Raksha, I think you have an appreciation and recognition of it in a way that cannot be quite matched by anybody else. So just the work that you did and trying to portray that and draw that requires such study and recognition of just humanity at work there.
Well, it was certainly an honor. It's that series of work has been one of the most meaningful bodies of work that I think I've had the privilege of attempting.
Yeah, we'll have to share some of that with our partners too, somehow share some of those with them or a link to that. So for those that haven't seen it before. So yeah. So yeah, if anybody's got any questions, please feel free to jump in. Did I just talk over somebody? I thought I heard somebody speaking. But and then just to clarify, everybody might have picked up on this, but the what we're able to provide right now for the grant for Agni Raksha, we do the home-based care, support the home-based care for 488 people, vocational training for 20 people. We support some of the program staff as well, just believing so much in the importance of the people that they have on their team alongside them. And then a new initiative for women's health that they are launching and that we've been able to support. And I wanted to say, Chitra, it meant a lot what you said about when there's a need that we come to mind, knowing that you can reach out to us, because that is what I would want more than anything else, for you to know that we care and we are in it with you, and we'll do everything we can, both from the practical support, but just to be in it with you in the capacity that we can. I know it's not the same, we're at such a distance, but I love so much that you know that our hearts and minds do reach across the miles and want to be standing right next to you. So
Thank you so much. And I really meant what I said, because you guys are the first thing that comes to my heart and my mind. And I'm really grateful for knowing you all. And it's been really honest. It's an honest answer.
thank you for that. Yes. Wasn't expecting to get something like that from this phone call. So thank you for offering that. It means so much. And we love you guys genuinely. I'm so excited for the people in our small community to get to hear from you in this way and to see your faces, to hear the story told in your voices. So thank you both so much for being willing to do that. I'm so thankful we had such a clear connection too. So you were great communicators. And Vanilla, just again, you do a beautiful job with the language. So don't question yourself one bit. So
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, you communicate very well. Sometimes I often felt in traveling that people where English maybe wasn't their first language communicated better than sometimes we do, because we analyze every word or we're trying to portray something in a certain way. And I've always valued and appreciate the clarity with which somebody is just willing to kind of go for the word that dives right in instead of trying to sort of cushion it in a certain way. So I think the communication is more clear at times. So thank you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Rachel, anything else as we close here?
I don't think so. I just echo everything Naomi said. We're so grateful to our partners who make this work possible, and just grateful to you guys, Chitra and Vanilla. And please give our love to your whole team. It's an honor.
Yes, we will
support you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.